Man-made climate change was factor in 2012 extreme weather. Study finds vertical line all Jzera America. Global header background image url/content/adapt.960.high.1378591,732.jpg at media minimum width 768 px and max width 959 px. Global header background image url/content/jam/jcr:/adapt.960.high.1378591,732.jpg at media max width 767 px. Global header background image url/content/jam/header/medium.133.medium.13378,616,591,732.jpg Display mobile navigation display mobile search bar news video shows schedule more shows sections U.S. International economy, technology, science, environment, health, education, culture, sports. Trending. Serious warm weather, health, technology. Search form. Man-made climate change was factor in 2012 extreme weather. Study finds. By Renee Luis. September 7, 2013, 2:00 p.m. at. Scientists say atmospheric pollution contributed to half of the extreme weather-related events of last year. Topics. Environment. Weather. Wildfire. Viewed comments. A new research report says Hurricane Sandy's impact was exacerbated by rising temperatures and sea levels, both consequences of greenhouse gas emissions. Darren McAllister 2012. Man-made climate change may have contributed to half of the extreme weather events of 2012, scientists said in a new report in the Bulletin of the American Meteorological Society (AMS). The report PDF published Friday by scientists with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA) is based on studies of about a dozen extreme weather events from around the world in 2012, from northern Europe's unusually wet summer to Hurricane Sandy. The scientists were aiming to answer the question from which their field of study, known as climate attribution science, was born: how many of these events were caused by man-made climate change as opposed to natural variability. Their conclusion, based on factors such as sea surface temperatures, changes in incoming solar radiation and many others, is that human influence varies from one event to another. But in about half of the extreme events studied, they found that man-made climate change was a contributing factor. Attempting to decipher whether or not climate change is the dominant factor in these events is a complex process. Using an analogy, the AMS report explained, adding just a little bit of speed to your highway commute each month can substantially raise the odds that you'll get hurt someday. But if an accident does occur, the primary cause may not be your speed itself. It could be a wet road or a texting driver. Likewise, while climate models indicate that compounded human effects increase the frequency of extreme weather events, much like speeding increases the chances of having an accident, natural variability may still be the primary factor in any individual event. Hurricane Sandy's intensity, for example, was reportedly compounded by both human effects and natural variability. Global warming caused by human atmospheric pollution makes storms more frequent and intense, the report said. Hurricane Sandy happened to hit the East Coast at peak storm tide levels and close to local high tide, what researchers behind the report call natural variability. Further aggravating the intensity of the storm was sea level rise SLR, which has been shown to make flooding events worse. Century-scale events. In 2012, the United States experienced its most severe drought in decades, with more than half of all counties in the country listed as natural disaster areas by the Department of Agriculture. For much of the central U.S., such conditions of combined scarcity of precipitation and elevated temperature had not been experienced since the Dust Bowl years of 1934 and 1936, the report said. The drought resulted in low or even zero crop yields, reduced livestock inventory, increases in food prices and at least 123 direct human deaths, according to the report, which called it a century-scale event. The report attributed the drought to a combination of factors, including increased surface heating due